Hello, Urbinder. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you giving me the opportunity to join AGM 2020 of Volunteer MBC.
So I think we're going to get started, Corrine. Is that okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Absolutely.
Great. So welcome to the 11th
18.
AGM for Volunteer
18,
MBC.
okay.
Right. We're so glad you can join us. My name is Sandy Lewis, and I'm the Board President of Directors for Volunteer MBC. Before we get started, I want to run through a few considerations. Please begin by typing your full name and organization in the chat box so we can accurately include you in our AGM minutes. The AGM meeting is being recorded and we will share afterwards. We have a lot of people joining us today, so we've muted participant lines to reduce noise disruption. I'd also ask that most of you have, but turn off your camera, and that may reduce any noise disruption. Also, you can adjust your own volume as you see some of the videos. If you need to adjust the volume on your own computer, please do so, so you can hear it. You want to go to the next slide? Thank you. Marina Campos, Volunteer MBC's Director of Operations, is our official AGM clerk today. We need 10 people present to reach quorum and start the meeting. Marina, can you confirm we have reached quorum?
Yes, we have. We have 19 voting members in the House.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'd like to now ask Robert McFarland, Volunteer MBC's Referral Service Consultant, to make the land acknowledgement.
We begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather, that we know as Peel and on which Volunteer MBC operates, is part of the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples inhabited and cared for this land. In particular, we acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe Chippewa peoples. The land that is home to the Métis, and most recently, the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We are grateful to have had the opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, we give our respect to its first inhabitants.
Great. Thank you so much, Robert. It's my pleasure to call this meeting to order. You will see we'll be using the chat box on or phone for voting purposes. To make a motion or second a motion, please use the chat function on the screen and type I move or I second, and include your full name and organization. If you are calling, you can unmute yourself. I will ask you to vote in favor, oppose, or abstain, and again, use the chat box. Voting members include Volunteer MBC members who are active between January 1st, 2019 and December 31st of 2019, and who are currently members in good standing. Voting members also include the current board of directors for Volunteer MBC and in-house active volunteer and honorary lifetime members. Voting members are eligible to vote on any motion and resolution brought forward in today's AGM. You received the AGM package, including the agenda, minutes from last year, and annual report by email. Please note there is only one vote per organization.
Sandy, can I just interrupt for 1 second? Some of you, I believe, are having a hard time seeing the chat box. So if you are, there's two ways. You can look for the chat box on the upper left-hand corner and click on that, or it can also be in the middle as well. And you can access the chat box that way. Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you, Corrine. We've received greetings from our mayors for this special occasion. Their letters and complete remarks are included in the annual report. We thank them and the other council members for their continued support. From Mayor Crombie. Mayor Brown. and Mayor Thompson. Thank you so much. Our proposed agenda is approval of the 2019 AGM minutes, approval of the 2019 audit, approval of auditors Dang and Associates for 2020, election of the Board of Directors, presentation of the annual report, bylaw changes, end of the official meeting and special presentations. Does anyone want to add anything to the agenda for today? May I have a motion to approve the agenda as it stands?
I move to accept.
Okay, great.
May I
And
have your name, please?
Carmela Busden.
I think someone needs to thank you, Carmela. And again, if you're motioning, please, as Marina said, just state your name. So I need a seconder for the agenda.
I believe it is Taranjeet.
Okay, perfect. So I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Any abstains? The motion is carried for the agenda. You have had a chance, hopefully, to review the 2018-2019 AGM minutes. And I'd like to take a moment to make a motion to approve the 2018-2019 AGM minutes.
I motion to accept. It's Carmela.
Thank you, Carmela. A seconder?
Jim Waiter.
Excellent. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
In favor.
Aye.
Excellent. Any opposed? Abstains? The motion is carried. These virtual meetings, we're all stretching muscles we haven't used, so we thank you for your patience with this as we try to get the motion right. We really appreciate it. I would like now to ask Dang, our auditors from Dang and Associates, to present the auditor report and 2019 financial statements for Volunteer MBC. The financial statement is included in the annual report and will be on our website following the AGM. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Was hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You're
sorry.
good. You're good.
I'm good. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to assist the Volunteer MBC with the audit. We have completed the audit for the financial statements at December 31st, 2019. Per usual with every year, it's a qualified opinion regarding the completeness of the revenue for the organization. Other than that, we didn't find any issues during the audit, and there were no exceptions as well. So it's a normal audit opinion for us. Are there any questions or things you would like me to add to that? These are the financial statements here that you're seeing. You know, there was. I won't speak to the actual details of the financial statements. We didn't find any issues with respect to the figures there. You know, the directors and Corinne could probably respond in more details regarding the details of the financial statements. If you have any questions overall on the financial statements, I'm happy to answer them right now.
Does anyone have any questions?
I think I see a comment in the chat.
Yes, I'm responding to it. So the financial statements are part of the annual report, and the annual report will be available on our website. Andre, I hope this answers your question.
I believe Andre wanted to make sure that they were going to be available after the AGM as well. And anyone that is requesting them, absolutely. We can also make them available on our website. Sandy, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Kai, for sharing the Volunteer MBC's financial story. May I have a motion to accept the 2019 financial statements as presented?
Freya has made the motion. Sandy?
Excellent. Seconder?
Lee has seconded the motion.
Great. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstains? Motion is carried. May I have a motion to engage Dang & Associates as Volunteer MBC's auditor and hold office until the next annual meeting, provided the directors may fill in casual vacancies in the office of the auditor and the remuneration shall be fixed for the board.
Taranjit has, Taranjit, is that for the motion? And Jim has seconded.
Excellent. So motion is carried. We are very pleased to announce our proposed board of directors for the 2020 and 2021 year, which includes 3 new board members, Kavita, Ting, and Shadeen. And this, as you can see on the screen, this is your board members for the next two years. May I have a motion to accept the slate of nominees for the 2021 Board of Directors as presented on the screen?
Freya has made a motion to accept.
Great. Seconder?
And Jamie has seconded the motion.
Excellent. I'd like to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstains? The motion is carried and you are now all locked in for the 2021 season. Please join me in welcoming the new board members. You may unmute yourself to give them a warm welcome to the board. Yay. So we'd like to welcome Kavita.
Thanks, guys and ladies.
We'd like to welcome Shadeen.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And welcome Ting to the board.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
We are delighted to have all 3 of you join the board, and we look forward to working with you and making lots of impacts. Now comes the bittersweet part, and that is the outgoing board members. I'd like to invite Karine to say a few words to recognize the efforts and the contributions of those departing members of the board.
Thank you, Sandy. I wanted to thank you, all the 3 outgoing board members, and this always gets very emotional for me because you become part of our family, and you always will be. And we have a saying at Volunteer MBC, we're like Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never leave. You will forever be part of the Volunteer MBC family. I wanted to just briefly mention a few things about Catherine. Catherine has been the chair of the board governance, and she's made a significant contribution. She's also a senior volunteer coordinator at the hospital and has been able to really inform our conversations at the board table. We're really going to miss you, Catherine. And if this was in person for all of you, I would definitely give you a big hug for everything that you have done. Next, I would like to thank Freya. Freya was our youngest board member. She also assumed a very difficult position, that of treasurer. She is an auditor and has done an excellent job in as our treasurer, but also guiding the finance committee as well. She is a huge volunteer and has, I think she gets it from her mom. And by the way, there's no relation between Sandy and Freya. That's not her mom. They not related at all. So we often get that question. But I wanted to really thank Freya. As a young person just building her career, she really committed to giving the time and commitment to the board. So thank you, Freya. And finally, Jamie. Jamie came to us and is finishing her 2-year term. She also works for another hospital, the Trillium Health Partners in Mississauga, and she takes care of their human resources there. And she has been a big asset for us anytime we had questions around HR policies. And so, Jamie, we're going to miss you and thank you so much. Really appreciate all 3 of you for the amount of time that you have contributed. My dad used to say, time is a very precious commodity. And we're just super grateful that all of you are so committed to being part of our board and part of our organization, and the passion that you show. Unfortunately, we can't give you this small token of appreciation, but rest assured that it will be there for you, engraved with your name, when things get back to the new normal. And again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.